In this video we are going to be taking a look at a platform by the name of Ready Set Profits that utilizes funnel building elements that you can utilize to drive traffic from various sources to offers and services. So we'll give a breakdown of the platform itself, and we'll also dive into the members area to showcase to you some of the elements inside, while also talking about some of the upsells to decide whether this would be a worthwhile platform or not, should you wish to invest in it if you're looking to start an online business. So essentially what this platform is, it's a step-by-step funnel building exercise that teaches you how to build out a unique funnel set using various tool sets and traffic sources, where you can utilize your own traffic to share the content that's already available so that you can make commissions from it. So if you dive into the sales page, it does give you an overview of the product, but it breaks it down more so in the point of a lot of sales figures, which I highly recommend that you don't take as accurate, because a lot of the times these can be usually mimicked in some shape or form. So there is no guarantees, as with a lot of these platforms. So when you go through the sales page, it essentially gives you an idea of what the platform is about. From the images that it's showing you on the sales page, what it's providing to you is it's really just selling you a dream. Now the system that it implements says that it can work if done correctly, but it may be one of those platforms that could be very, very overwhelming for a new entrepreneur or business creator to get started with. But we'll quickly dive into the members area and we'll just have a look over the features and the tools. So inside of the members area of Ready Set Profits, you're greeted with a dashboard and you have a main menu where you have the passive income blueprint system, traffic sources, and you have access to a copy spinner. There is further upgrades that you can gain access to at a later date, but again they all tie in with the likes of the upsells and downsells. And essentially what this platform is, it's a workshop training platform that utilizes various types of methods to promote content that you can utilize to gain traffic so that you can send to offers and services. So essentially you're building out an entire funnel. So the platform goes through all of the training inside of the blueprint. As you can see here on the side, it goes through all of these different various methods. There's loads of them available. You're not just tied down to one particular method inside of this platform to use. So you would have to watch all of the training involved, as there is a lot of training videos inside that shows you and gives you an idea of what you're supposed to do. So as you go through each of the individual modules, you'll see that at the end of each module there is a button to proceed on to the next one, and each module will present to you another training video that showcases more of the elements that must be put in place to build out the entirety of this funnel. And it also gives you other variations, and it leads you on to other platforms and tools and resources that you can use to start building out a lot of these elements, and they're all shared on each of these individual pages, as you can see here. So each page pretty much just takes you on to the next stage of the funnel building process. And again, like I mentioned, it does give you access where you can sign up for different resources to actually help you put all the pieces together. So you do have access to a lot of different traffic methods, anything from the likes of email, setting up Facebook, Messenger, Twitter, Pinterest, and various different social media swipes that you can utilize for your copy and so forth. And how you can utilize a lot of these free platforms from the likes of Facebook and Twitter, even Quora, to generate the traffic, as those platforms do get a lot of traffic, and it's just a case that you're going to be using that to send to these offers and services that you will build throughout this platform. But you will need to go through each of the individual modules and have a look at the training, and it breaks everything down of what exactly you can do. But you are limited to certain criteria and what's involved, because there's certain things that you do have to put in place yourself, but generally you have to send it to something that they've already created. So as you go through the process, it will give you the ideas and elements through each module to show you what to do. So it will walk you through the process. So you just have to go through each of the individual training videos to show you what to do. And each training video will show you a different process that you would have to implement from each of the different traffic sources so that you can build out the entirety of the funnel, because each stage represents a different traffic source. So essentially what this is going to do is when you actually build out all of these unique elements, it's going to set it up where everything's going to work on autopilot, so that all you need then is the traffic to drive through it and everything will work for itself in the background. So that's what it promises. So it does give you a list of various traffic sources that you can use. So you can set up accounts on Craigslist, you can set up a Facebook fan page, but it also does require you to set up advertisements using solo ads, which is ideally something you don't really want to get into when you're an absolute beginner, because you can waste a lot of money, even though you can get a lot of clicks to your content and your videos and your traffic and so forth, but a lot of it is very untargeted. I have done previous videos on solo ads and how they can cost you a lot of money, and it's not something that really should be looked into when you're a beginner starting out with marketing. So again, I'll leave a link to that video down in the description. So here it just goes through a lot of the other various elements that you can utilize from Bing ads, Snapchat, Google ads, Medium, Mix.com, and with Mix.com being a content curation site, the only thing is now Mix recently has gone through a change where it's a mobile only platform now. You can't utilize it through your computer desktop. So a lot of these traffic sources may be of use to you, but some of them may not be relevant to what you would actually need. And then you have access then to a content spinner, so you would gain access to swipes and you'd be able to copy and paste content inside, and all it's going to do is spin the content, but ideally this isn't a good thing to do either. Now it can work in some cases, but content spinning really isn't an ethical thing to really utilize, because it can get you in trouble. You can be done for copyright infringement, and it ideally isn't the best practice for you to start really with building your business. To really gain any sort of leverage, you do need to be able to write out your own content and take the time to create everything from scratch, or get someone to write it for you. But these copyright spinners aren't really a good thing to use. So it does have access to all of the individual elements that you would need to set up and build out the entirety of this unique funnel that uses all sorts of different elements, anything from solo ads to free traffic, all to build out the entirety of this funnel so that you can create an autopilot entity. So when it comes down to it, the front end price of the product itself is only like $17. Now for what it is, it's not going to break the bank for that, just to see what's available and to see the training inside. But where you will lose entirety of your money is all the upsells and downsells. This is something you really don't want to get into. Even though you will gain access to other types of material, it's not really worth the hassle. You'll actually end up wasting more money, and a lot of the stuff that you would probably get in here you can get for free online anyway if you're willing to take the time and look for it. So if you're going to have a look at the front end platform, then you can feel free to do so, but I would recommend that you probably should avoid the likes of the upsells. But in general, what are my overall thoughts of this platform and what would I think of it, or would I recommend it? I would probably stay away from something like this if I was an absolute beginner, because again, right, even though there's a lot of training here, and the training for the most part is valid and it does present a lot of ideas that in some cases could be useful, but there's so much going on in here and there's so many different steps in which to utilize. If you're an absolute beginner, you will very, very quickly get overwhelmed and you'll feel completely out of your depth. You won't even know really what to do or what's going on. You won't even understand the platforms that you're using and even how to set them up correctly. And even at that, when you do start posting content, you have to do it in a way to make sure that you don't get your accounts banned. So you do have to be very, very careful. But you can have a look at it and see what you think for yourself. See if it is something that might be of interest to you, but it probably won't suit absolute beginners. So I would recommend that you probably should stay away from it and look for other alternatives if you're really serious about starting an online business from scratch. But if you are serious to wanting to figure out the steps to build an online business that teaches you everything that you need to know step by step, while showing you how to build out all the relevant resources and avenues so that you can create even your own sales funnels and that with free training, then check out the first link below in the description to find out more. And be sure to check out some of the other videos here on screen where I do provide other helpful guides and tips that teaches you other ways of how to build a business online from scratch. So be sure to check them out, and I will see you all over in the next one.